on pretty much every vehicle website I found out, there are things, if you ask a question about it, you're going to start a fight on that website. If you go to the G503, which is for World War II Jeeps, just if you're bored someday, log in there and say, hey, what's knuckle pudding? You'll have all kind of people calling you bad things and telling you're an idiot and that kind of stuff. It's fun to watch sometimes. But, knuckle pudding, by the way, is when you mix gear oil and axle grease inside the closed knuckles to keep them lubricated. This is not about that. So, on steel soldiers, in the Cucv world, two things will cause an argument to happen pretty much as soon as you write it. One is about the resistor for the glow plugs. I've already mentioned in several of my videos why I removed the resistor from my glow plug system. But there's just as many people out there on steel soldiers who think, how dare you? You're messing with the system. Don't remove that resistor. Another thing is the starter motor relay on the Cucv. So this wiring harness is what was left of the harness on Red. And those of you who watch my videos, Red's been in a lot of my videos, but Red was reclaimed by my son and is now living the suburban truck life over near College Station. But this is how Red, the wiring harness on Red, looked when we got Red. Someone had cut all the wires under the dash and pulled the fuse panel out. This is the blinkers and ignition switch and whatnot side of it. And this is the back of the instrument panel, headlights and whatnot. And then you have, like, this is the little dome light under the ashtray. This is the four-wheel drive switch on the transfer case. And this is the starter relay. Why does the Cucv need a starter relay when Chevrolets don't have such a thing for all their other vehicles? Because of the 1224 volt thing. So what you have here is on the Cucv, it has 12 volts for the Chevrolet truck. Almost all these wires run 12 volts. The starting system, part of the glow plug system, the slave cable system, and then there's some two gauge wire, aught gauge wire, go in the back for radios. Well, the starting system under the hood, for the most part, is 24 volts. But under the dash, when you turn the key, you're turning 12 volts on. This relay does that. Except if you've been around GM products, this looks just like the blower relay for your air conditioner under the hood. That's what it is. GM or Chevrolet took a blower motor relay and repurposed it on the Cucv to be the starter motor relay. What it does, here's the wires. You got black, red. This is supposed to be purple. This is supposed to be purple and white. The one that looks white right here, this is supposed to be purple and white. So you notice, I'm going to plug it in. Black, purple, and white. On a stock, any Chevrolet for all those years, decades, purple and white was the wire going from the starter switch or the ignition switch down to the starter motor to say turn on, to hit the solenoid down there to engage the solenoid. So that's 12 volts. And relays, well, back up. You hear that? So this one got replaced. No matter what people say online, something's wrong in there. What a relay does is it uses a low, you can kind of tell, it's a small ground wire. That's a big purple and white wire, but small ground wire, 12 volts, electromagnetic, turns on a solenoid that then closes contacts to connect the 24 volts. 12 volt hot, or 24 volt hot, 24 volt to the starter motor. That's what this thing does, is it connects through 12 volts, connects these two out here. And there's a guy on Steel Soldiers whose username is Doghead. You go to Steel Soldiers, search Doghead Relay, you will find out about removing this, cutting these wires, putting terminal ends on, and adding basically a lawnmower starter solenoid that doesn't fail. Because what happens sometimes is these things, being not meant for starter motor duties, and 12 volts connecting 24 volts, they will stick on, which means you let go of the key, your starter's still going and going and going. And then the magic smoke comes out from all the burnt fusible links under the hood. And even if you can get out in time, grab a 9/16, if that's what your battery terminals are, unplug the front battery, the back battery is still going to be pushing the starter motor. So you burn something else up. I had this happen. Notice this. And it burned up 3 fusible links and a starter motor on me when I first had the truck. Well, yes, I did that. So I did the Doghead relay on my 715, or my 1009. And this is located under the dash, right above your accelerator foot. There's a little plate down there. You unscrew the plate, pull it out, you unscrew this, and you get this. There's also relays. I think this one, I didn't look at the wires before I get it. One of these is the voltmeter gauge relay. One's the Gen 2 relay, right here next to it, on the same plate. This is all together under the right above the accelerator pedal. If you reach up in there, you'll feel it. And so I did the Doghead relay. I redid it. That was good. Had to rebuild my starter motor. Had to get new batteries. And because I actually burned the positive terminal off my back battery. It just kept going and going and going. I didn't have any tools with me. Now I carry tools. But even then, I probably couldn't have got to them in time because I keep them in the back. I mean, roll down those stupid back window and get the tools out and run up there. It's all fried. I did the Doghead relay. Don't worry about that ever again. Well, when I redid my starter motor, I put another non-Delco starter solenoid on. And inside that, when it gets power through the purple wire here, 24 volts, it electromagnetically turns on the starter motor and pushes the Bendix out. Well, turns out the 24 volt starter solenoid I got said 24 volts on a sticker. It wasn't stamped in it. It was on a sticker. It wasn't rated for 24 volts. It welded itself on. So I got to rebuild my starter motor again. This was all back in 2010. So with Delco parts on my starter motor and the Doghead relay replacing this piece of junk, I have now gone 14 years with no starter motor issues, no starting issues, good to go. You do what you want. I'm just making people aware of one of the troubles with the main trouble, besides the alternators, and I've already done videos about that, with the 12 volt, 24 volt dual alternator system on the Cucv is this is a 12 24 volt crossover point that GM cheaped out and used a cheap part on. Yes, you could stick a big old Ford style starter solenoid down there or relay down there. You can do that, but the lawnmower ones are rated for the same thing. So just go to Steel Soldiers, search, don't ask, search Doghead relay, and you'll get the right part numbers. I should have had that when I did this video, but yeah, that was, if you go on Steel Soldiers as a new person and ask, I want to do a Doghead relay, you're going to get told to search, and then someone's going to tell you you're an idiot. That's just the way it is over there. But super nice people on Steel Soldiers. But that's one of the things that's been going on for more than 20 years. Anyway, hopefully this does not happen to your wiring harness, because changing all this stuff out under the dash is not fun. But that's what Red had got done to it. This is the harness off of Red. So another tip for CUCV owners, the Doghead relay.